Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here and welcome to another review. And now I'm taking a look at the Super Nintendo port of Mortal Kombat 2, courtesy of Acclaim, who were responsible for releasing releasing the ports of the first game. Now, I should warn you, this game is going to contain, this review is going to contain some pretty graphic and gory violence. So you have been warned. Now, anyone who's regularly been following my channel knows that I not so long ago reviewed the Super Nintendo port of the first Mortal Kombat, and due to Nintendo of America's policies regarding graphic depictions of death and excessive on-screen violence in the Nintendo games released in the West, there was absolutely no blood whatsoever in that particular port, and some of the more graphic fatalities got replaced with something completely different. So, understandably, the Mega Drive port did rather better, despite not looking or despite not looking or sounding as good as the Super Nintendo version. When it came to the second one, though, I guess Acclaim basically said that they wouldn't even bother releasing a version for the Super Nintendo unless Nintendo were willing to renege on that, or at the very least substantially lessen its impact. And the ploy obviously worked, because Mortal Kombat 2 is intact with all its gory glory. Although it's not arcade perfect, it's still a brilliant conversion. And you got 12 characters to pick from this time instead of the 7 from the previous game. And the controls work exactly the same way as before, so if you're familiar with the previous. So you look how gory that is. You wouldn't have seen that in the first game. Nice clear sound samples. Notice the faces on the trees roaring every so often. Oh, this is just class. Everything about it is just absolutely spot on. And that's as you can see, the fatalities in there. You also get babalities in this, and friendships. However, you have to meet certain conditions in order to do both of those. Oh. Yeah, seeing the repeated high punches and seeing all the blood just streaming from the nose. That was one of the most iconic things that people remember about the Mortal Kombat games. If you, at the very least, the earliest ones, but that's besides the fatalities. And another thing I'm kind of glad about is that they did away with the test your might thing from the previous game. To the best of my knowledge, they never revisited that idea, and it's probably just as well, because because button mashing was pretty much passe even at that point. So. Kitana beat me that time. I believe she and Melina are Kathleen Samilars or something along those lines. I think that was the name of the woman they digitised for her. Round 1, fight. Yeah, and pit fatalities exist on some of the stages. This is one of them. It's not as simple as just doing a high uppercut when it says finish him or her. You have to actually do a specific a sequence of movements, just like with any other fatality or otherwise. There was certainly a lot of memorising or people having of having sheets of what they'd copied down from other sources with them whenever they went to the arcades or went round with friends or whatever. Sub-Zero wins. Round 3, fight. That's one of Sub-Zero's new moves, being able to freeze the ground like that, and the opponent that walks on it just slips around uncontrollably. Off. Sub-Zero wins. Round 1. Kong Lao. Sub-Zero wins. Round 2, fight. Nope. As with the floors in Street Fighter 2, they notice how the floors also also moves in correct perspective. Round 3, fight. Oh, cool. Finish it. Superb. Kung Lao wins. We'll use one more character and you get a limited number of credits. Round 1, fight. I believe it was Ho Sung Pak being digitised for Liu Kang again, just like he was in the previous game. Ho Sung Pak also played a villain in the Drunken Master 2 film starring Jackie Chan. Notice that there's Sonya Blade in the background, chained up, and that's Shao Kahn, the main villain on the throne in the background. The Kano in the background as well. Right. I think you basically get the idea. You generally fight your way to the top. So that's Mortal Kombat 2 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, aka SNES or Super NES. Absolutely superb conversion. As I said, it's not arcade perfect, but it's still an excellent conversion. All of the gore from the original arcade version's been kept in, and I believe that was enough to make this version more popular than the Mega Drive version. And it's certainly a brilliant conversion. Graphics are nice and detailed, and they've done a better job of making the digitized people not look quite so stuck on. They've softened the edges a little, so that it's not quite the same messy outlines that you occasionally had in the previous game. And that can only be a good thing. It makes the characters look less stuck on. The sound's really good as well. Music for each individual background, and sound effects are nice and crisp, and you've got the usual punch and kick sound effects and the like. And gameplay, well, the overall controls are exactly the same as in the first game. So if you felt comfortable with that, then the likelihood is you'll feel comfortable with this.
Round one.
You will obviously have to try and figure out on your own Steam what the fatalities are, but the manual contains how to do these special moves. But well, not just fatalities, the babalities and friendships as well, and the pit fatalities, etc. You'd have to find those from elsewhere. The manual isn't going to tell you. So I'm gonna happily give Mortal Kombat 2 for the Super Nintendo 8 out of 10. It does have some slight irritations, which I remember from playing it back when I first bought the game, which slightly detract from the fun a little, but particularly if you've got other humans to fight against, it makes the whole thing more durable. It's certainly an overall improvement over the first Mortal Kombat on the Super Nintendo, especially as all of the gore is fully intact this time around. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that review. Catch you on another one soon. Texie88 out.